Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the Tripowin Piccolo single dynamic driver. As you can see, mine's the black version, there's also the silvery version. And yeah, I'd like to thank Linsol for sending me this to try out, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video and all thoughts and opinions are my own. This is I think another LCP driver, which tends to be pretty good. And yeah, let's just get into it. So just a closer look. It's been a while since I've done a Tripowin. I've done I think the last one I did was the Alina, and that was quite a good set. It's been a while, but yeah, black version. So nothing really on the back, just information. This is a UK address. Don't know who Apex is, but some information there. Nothing there. So some specs. So Tripowin Piccolo, aluminium. So it's an 11mm dual cavity LCP. So this should be decent. 110 decibels sensitivity. So it's quite sensitive, and the impedance is 32 ohm. Cable and 0.78 2-pin. So fairly standard. Warranty information there and QC date. Looks like the 3rd of April, I think. So quite recent. Tips. Get these out. So obviously I'll unravel the cable in a bit more black. So it does remind me of the other ones, just in black. Quite a rough texture, as you can see. Yeah, so a very rough finish to it, which is a bit different. Normally stuff's quite smooth. Yeah, quite curious of these because again the Alina, I'll leave that off because it says you put it back on. But yeah, the Alina and the Melee I've tried in the past is pretty good. The Leah I think I tried was not so good. So I think that might be it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So obviously right now I haven't tried these. Like per usual, I will graph them, spend a bunch of time with them, get my thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. But yeah, quite looking forward to these. So yeah, I'll see you in the next clip. Yeah, so welcome to my review section of the Tripowin Piccolo, if that's the correct way of saying it. So this is what it looks like with the cable. So from here first. Not too bad. Obviously it's got left and right in the connectors. That's what it looks like. So all metal. They feel like they're built like a tank. That's what it looks like. So it's a cable I think they've used off. It seems familiar. I think it might have been right with the Alina or something like that. It's just in black, but that's what they look like. So let's get straight on to build, shall we say, and then comfort. So here, left unit. So build quality is very good. It's like more of a matte, rough kind of texture instead of everything being gloss. I'm quite happy with it. I guess that's there to help ventilation. Obviously, they're 2-pin lip on the nozzle. But yeah, it's very good. So, excuse me. So comfort on these took. I had to tip swap a few times, or tip rolling as you call it. That's do it a few times. Then it was fine. Yeah, it looks kind of normal, its shape, but it just took a few attempts to get kind of good comfort when it was in my ear, but apart from that it was fine. So pounds and sensitivity, this is actually fine, no issues at all. Any gear you've got will probably power these without a doubt. I don't see any kind of issues or anything like that. So excuse me. So timbre of these is again very good. Again, no problems at all with stuff like that. And yeah, so talk about micro details. So micro details on this set was actually pretty decent as well. And it also does help they use a decent driver, an LCP driver. Have a closer look. They don't ultimately look that great, but it does feel kind of solid. It reminds me like of a piece of coal, but these come in silver. So I'm quite curious of what that look like. but I do like they're a little bit understated. You know, they're not. You got a bit of writing there, but on the back there's not much to say about it. So soundstage and imaging. I wish the stage was a bit bigger. At some points it does feel wider than you expect, but it's very particular parts. But apart from that, it was okay. You probably want a bit more. And imaging was actually okay as well. Nothing to shout about, but it was fine. So sound, really, that's what we're here for. So overlay the graph now. Now there's an elevation in the low end that I wouldn't call these really that bassy. There's enough slam and decay and hit to the bass, but they're not overly bassy. I'd probably want a bit more sub bass, but they've got enough low end. They're not anemic. They're not bass monsters. It's kind of in the middle, and it's fine. And I do like that into the lower mid range. There's a little bit of bleed going on to give it a bit more body, which is perfectly fine. Mid range on these is actually fine as well. The gain is gradual, so I found female vocals was actually perfectly fine. Kind of a good balance, really. It wasn't too bad at all. Now you can see my mid range. There is an imbalance. I didn't really notice that. It's a couple of decibels, but I didn't really ultimately know because I graphed these after I used them, which I think is the best way. Yeah, mid-range is clean, it's crisp, it's where you want everything to be. I do like that, again, like the bleed into the bass to give it a little bit more body. But yeah, it's perfectly fine, really. Now, treble, as you can see, there's more imbalance. Again, I didn't really notice it, so... Again, and this is only my pair. And I did measure it multiple times just to double check, and it always came back the same. So, it is what it is. Now, the extension on this aren't that great. Obviously, the peak at around 8K is from the coupler. So, it does roll off kind of gradual, and then there's that peak about 12, 13 that gives it that little bit of air, that little bit of extra stage. And yeah, not a bad set. So, treble is, you can see, lower treble forward, but not more than it doesn't sound shouty, nothing like that. There's enough going on. Instruments sound clear, as forward as you probably want them to be, really. And yeah, not a bad set. Obviously, it's been a while since I've tried any Tripowin models. But yeah, obviously that imbalance I didn't really notice, but I was quite happy with everything in the treble. It sounds quite realistic, really. Ultimately, you might want more stage. You can see from 6 to basically 10, it does roll off a bit. But it's not too bad. It doesn't seem to roll off as much as it looks on the graph. And yeah, overall, not a bad set. I think these are, is it $35 or something like that? But yeah, overall, I was quite happy with the overall kind of sound spectrum, really, the frequency range. So, conclusion, do I recommend these? They're not a bad set. So, comfort to me is most important. So, it did take a few attempts for me to get it right, which is kind of rare these days because most of these are very ergonomic in shape. But I did take that issue. Second thing is they're built very well, but it looks a little bit kind of, I don't know, cheap, shall we say, but they're not cheap, they're just built well, it just doesn't look it. And tuning, there's a bit of an imbalance in the treble. But yeah, they're not a bad set. Everything is forward as you want it to be. Really, it's a shame that the 8K resonance to see what these actually graph like. But yeah, as a DD set, I'm sure them $35, they're a good set, really. They seem to do what I like very well. And I did try this with a movie called 65, which got released recently. The dinosaur one, you know which one I mean. And I watched the whole film of these, and it's actually pretty good. It gave the experience. I was happy with my experience of the audio in the film with these. And that's pretty much it. So overall, they're a decent enough set. The cable's decent. You get enough tips. Build quality is good. I wish the driver matching was slightly better, but I didn't notice it anyway. So yeah, if you want to know anything in particular about these, please do let me know in the comments. And yeah, as usual, thanks for watching. Take care.